'Tis a Wildcat Wednesday, and we're kind enough to be joined by Miss Sherry Nelson from the Kansas State Wildcat Extension District. We are full swing right now in county fair mode.
We are.
And Sherry, a lot of people think about county fair, you know, we think about the great food and we think about the rides and we think about the animals, but I tell you what, when it comes to 4-H and the time and projects that these kids invest in, you got a small sample right here.
I do.
What are some of the other things that, number one, we can take in as participants at fairs, but number two, kids may say, I want to get involved in that.
Exactly. Well, we have, you know, like you said, everybody always thinks about the animals because that's the visible part of fair. And but these kids have been working all year long on all these different projects. And so I think one of the more popular projects that we have in the county fairs, or at least at our county fair in Wilson County, is our photography project. Kids, I mean, how many kids have their cell phones? They're taking pictures all the time. So the photography project is one that, I mean, we'll have 100+ photos.
You bring an interesting point. I want to ask about this now because, you, like you say, kids, you don't have to have the huge lens.
Sure, no.
Are kids submitting pictures that they've taken on their phones?
Yes, yes.
Really?
As a matter of fact, my daughter took this one on her cell phone.
Oh my God, I never thought about that.
Yeah, so, you know, cell phone can take great pictures. Now, a lot of kids do use the fancy cameras, but a lot of them just use their cell phones.
Okay.
I mean, because they've got them on them all the time.
I equate the fair with great food, and we've got kids that are, of course, putting together recipes.
Yep.
What do we have here?
Yeah, I have a recipe box. This is one of the exhibits that kids can do. They can put together a recipe box and they can continue to add to that recipe box, and I think there's like 15, almost 12 years worth of recipes in this
Oh my
box
goodness.
that the kids have made.
And of course there's sewing.
Sewing, yes, and this would be a beginning year project, an apron. A simple apron, and it's got a pocket and all those type of things, so kids are sewing and doing a lot of fun things.
And one of the things as a fair participant, I mean, as we go around and we take time, make sure you take a look at all these projects that these kids have put together.
Yeah.
Because talk about the time that they've invested in this and kind of how it helps them as they grow into adults.
Well, sure, and I think Will talked the last time he was here, he talked about the interview skills that the kids get with talking with the judges, and so a lot of these projects, these kids will get to talk to the judges as their project's being judged, and the judge can give them helpful comments about how to improve that project. Some of these projects take many hours. I have a rocket here.
I was going to everybody's got to be staring at this on the table. That you may not expect to see something like this at a county fair.
Yeah, the Space Tech project is really popular. It includes rockets, it includes astronomy, which can have posters, it can have telescopes. Kids will make telescopes. It also includes the robotics project where kids can make robots.
How have you seen that program grow as far as space tech and robotics in just say the past decade?
In the past decade, it's really grown. The robotics has been added, and you know, kids really get into robots and doing those things, and so I think it's really great. And some of the kids will have set up during the afternoon when we have people just coming through, and they'll run their robots for people so people can see how they work.
And it's a great chance for members of the community to go out and see the talent that these kids have that we probably don't see all on display at one point in time.
Exactly, and I think, you know, I think fair is a great place for these kids to show off their talents other than, you know, just livestock or cooking that we think about so often. But these kids have a lot of talent and arts and crafts. I mean, we have some wonderful drawings and creative arts and crafts projects that you'll see at the fair. So
one quick question.
Sure.
I want you to go back to county fairs when you were a kid. And the county fairs that you're now part of with the K-State Wildcat Extension District. Biggest difference?
I think the biggest difference is, you know, some more of these scientific type projects, you know, the space tech and some of those type of projects. I mean, we did photography and sewing and foods, of course, when I was in 4-H, but we didn't do all the space tech and all those type of things.
County fairs are in full swing right now. That's where you can get a hold of Sherry or any of the Wildcat District Extension officers. I want to thank you so much for coming in real quickly before we get out of here.
I enjoy it very much.
No, brag. Come on, brag.
These, come see all these projects.
No, but come on, whose is this?
Oh, my son did that. My son did that probably when he was 16, I think.
By the way, he's now studying astrophysics. Internship at NASA.
Yeah.
That's awesome. By the way, I agree with him. It's a planet. Sherry, thanks for coming in.
Thanks.
All right, go check out the county fairs. Let's come back, talk 7-Day next.